Today, I want to share with you the $137 mistake that I made that cost me the chance of getting a mortgage. Come right back and I'll share that story with you. Okay, so this is a true story. It's not just a clickbait title. This actually happened to me. The $137 mistake that cost me the chances of getting a mortgage. Here's what happened. A few years ago, I was in transition, about to buy a home, and I was renting a house with some friends. Me and two of my closest friends, we were renting this house together, and I had the cable bill in my name. I'm the one that signed up for this thing. So after the year, we all kind of moved out and went our own ways. I went and purchased a property, and here's what happened to me. When I was under contract with this property, I was getting my mortgage, I was getting pre-approved and going through my application process, and all of a sudden something popped up on my credit report that caused me to not be able to get this mortgage. Now, if you know me very well, if you're a close friend of mine, you know I watch my finances a lot. I talk a lot about finances. I'm heavily into investing. I don't spend a lot of money on frivolous things. I'm very careful with what I do with my finances. I have a long-term plan for what I do with these things. So, you know, I watch my books. I pay attention to where I spend my money, what needs to get paid. And I made a lot of mistakes when I was in my 20s, went into tons of debt, had lots of tax problems, but I got all that cleaned up as a thriving adult now in my 30s. So I'm really diligent about what I do with my finances, but I had no idea that I owed AT&T $137. You know, you would figure they had my telephone number, they had my email address, they could have let me know that I owed them this money, but guess what? They didn't. All they did was send that bill to the property that I didn't live at anymore, so I had no idea that I owed this money. I mean, it's $137. I certainly would have paid it. But what ended up happening was that bill didn't get paid, and then that bill ended up going into collections and caused a huge negative thing on my credit report, and now it's costing me a lot of money to hire an attorney, hire a credit repair specialist to go in there and clean this thing up, because this thing's just going to sit on my credit report for 5 years now. Now, I ultimately ended up getting this mortgage, and I was actually lucky because I was already in the house and it was a refinance of sorts. So I wasn't in danger of losing the property. But the reason why I'm sharing this story with you today is because this simple little thing that I didn't even know and wasn't aware about cost me the chances of getting a mortgage. So why is this important to you? We have hundreds of home buyers come to us looking for information about the home buying process every single month, and we want to make sure that you are set up for success when you're ready to go buy a home. What ended up happening during this process is I'm knee deep in getting this mortgage. You know, it'd been 2 weeks already since we started the ball rolling, and then all of a sudden the underwriters call me up and say, Scott, there's a problem. You've got these collections on your report. This is killing your chances of getting the mortgage. So what I ended up having to do, and it cost about, I think, 30 to 45 days for me to get all of this settled, over $137. You would think that $137, that's no big deal. Let's just go ahead and forget about it and move on with the mortgage. But that is not how it works in the mortgage industry. Little things like that can completely derail your ability to get a mortgage. So 30 to 45 days later, I was able to contact the collections company and get it all cleaned up. And I was ultimately able to get that mortgage, but now I've got huge credit problems. And the credit analyst that I've been speaking with is saying, you know, your credit will not be able to get over 700 until this thing drops off, which is going to be about 4 years from now. Now, I'm kind of interested in having good credit. You know, I like to borrow money when a good deal pops up, so I want to have great credit so that I can be able to pull the trigger on deals that come up. But again, why this is important for the normal home buyer out there is because the typical seller out there is not going to be willing to wait around 30, 45, even 60 days waiting for you to go clean up your credit so that you can purchase their property. So what does this mean? This means a couple of different things. One, you could miss out on the home that you absolutely love because you couldn't get a mortgage. Two, you wasted a lot of money during the process because you got to start spending money whenever you go under contract buying a new home that you'll never get back because the seller wouldn't move on. Everybody's irritated during the entire process. The seller's irritated, the seller's agent is irritated, the buyer's irritated, the buyer's agent is irritated, the lender's irritated. Nobody wins in this whole process. So what should you do in order to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen? First of all, you should always check your finances. Know what's going on in your life. Know who you pay your bills on time, and don't take out a bunch of extra credit that you don't need. Number two, and this is probably the most important thing, if you're ready to get out and start shopping for a house, it is highly advisable that you do not start shopping and you do not especially start making offers on properties until you have been fully pre-approved for a mortgage. This means that you've talked to a mortgage professional, you've filled out an application, you've submitted your bank statements, your tax returns, they've verified your employment. There's a lot of things that people just don't understand about the mortgage process. And surprisingly enough, there's a lot of things that people don't understand about their own finances and how they get paid at their jobs. So I wanted to just explain to you how a simple little insignificant $137 mistake could completely derail your chances of buying a home. So I hope that you take this, my experience, as a word of warning for you if you're thinking about buying a home. Get pre-approved. You're gonna have to do it anyway. You might as well just do it up front and find out if a simple little problem like this could completely derail your chances of getting a mortgage. If you want to talk more about this, please give us a call here at our office, 469-998-3322. Visit us on the website, mydallashomefinder.com. We'd love to get you in touch with our preferred lender, get you pre-approved. It takes less than 5 minutes, it's free, and it's totally easy. Thanks. Have a great day and happy selling.